Hi, this is Callie with the Career segment interviewing.
Leah.
Our first question is, what is your career and what can you tell us about it?
My career. Do I hold this? No? Okay. My career. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, and I work at the hospital in Waimea in the emergency department. Um, like most people know, nurses help people when they're sick or when they're injured. Um, but nurses work all over. So not just in the hospital, but nurses work at the doctor's office, and they work at schools, and they work going to people's houses sometimes, and transporting people like to Oahu if you're really sick. They work in all different kinds of places.
Our second question is, what made you choose this career?
I chose this career because I've always been interested in health and science, and and in the emergency department, it's very busy and exciting, and things are always changing, and I've always kind of liked that, and so that's why I chose where I work. I also chose it because nurses, like teachers, everywhere, no matter where you live, they need nurses, and so I knew that I would have a job no matter where I was, and when I was a new nurse, I liked to travel a lot, and I could do that with this career.
Our third question is, what kind of skills or education do you need for this career?
To be a nurse, a registered nurse, you have to go to school after high school, either for 2 years to do an associate's program or for 4 years to do a bachelor's program. And then after you finish your program, then you sit for a licensure exam. That's like a test you have to take. And then after you pass, you have a nursing license and you can work wherever you want as a nurse.
Our last question is, what is your favorite part of this job?
My favorite part of this job is that I get to be a community contributor and help keep my community healthy. And it's challenging and always changing, and so I'm always learning new things, no matter how long I've been doing it.
That was Callie and
Leah?
with the career segment. See you next time.
Hi, this is Yari.
And Bibi with the garden segment. Today, we will be talking about sunflowers.
I'll tell the first fact about sunflowers. The first fact is that you can eat the seeds out of the sunflower.
I'll tell the next fact about sunflowers. You can make sunflower butter, sunflower bread, trail mix, and much more snacks.
The third fact about sunflowers is that the sunflower will always face the sun.
The last fact about sunflowers is that the seeds can make very good bird feed. This was Vivi.
And Yari with the garden segment.
See you next time!
This is Jella with the Student Council segment. In Student Council, we did the Lunar New Year decorations and the Valentine's Day decorations. We also did the motivational cards for the 5th graders to wish them good luck on their science test in February. This was Jella with the Student Council segment. See you next time with more updates.
Hi, I'm Gabriel, and I'm doing food around the world. The country I picked was England. A food from England is the sandwich. The sandwich originated in England when John Montagu placed a slice of meat between two slices of bread. It later became famous in England. The sandwich was named after John Montagu, who was the 4th Earl of Sandwich, which is a town in England. The sandwich is basically anything between two slices of bread, like cheese, eggs, or even PB&J. This was Gabriel with Food Around the World. See you next month.
Hi, this is Jessa with the poem segment for March. Last month's poem was about old newspapers crumbled up in the corner. This month's poet is Jack Perlesky. Jack Perlesky is also an American poet, just like Robert Frost, but his poems are silly and rhyme. Here is one of his poems called I Bake a Cake of Sunlight. I baked a cake of sunlight, but I didn't like the taste. I baked a cake of rainbows, the colors went to waste. I baked a cake of moonbeams and hated every bite. I baked a cake of flowers and eggs. The flavor is right. Did you hear some of the rhyming? This was Jessa with the poem segment for March. See you next time.
Hi, this is Jella with the Would You Rather segment. For this segment, I'll be asking you silly and goofy would you rather questions that you and your class can answer. Let's start. First question, would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet? I'll give you a few seconds to decide. Okay, next question. Would you rather have ears that wiggle when you're excited or a nose that honks when you're excited? I'll give you a few more seconds to decide. Okay, this was Jella with the Would You Rather segment. I hope you and your class enjoyed these questions that I've asked. See you next month.
This is Bodhi with the origami segment, and today we're going to be making a rose. First, fold in half both ways like a triangle. Now fold in half both ways to make rectangles. Then open. Now fold each piece in. Repeat this step 2 more times. Now you're going to fold out so the tip barely sticks out. Do this to all sides. Do this to the insides too. Just fold them out as far as you can go. Finally, do it to the middle there. There you have a rose. This is Bodhi with the origami segment. See you next time.
Hi, this is Elikai with the holiday of the month. The holiday of the month is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is held on March 17th. That day is the feast of St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick was a missionary to Ireland in the AD 400s. In the United States, St. Patrick's Day is primarily a non-religious holiday. Many people wear green clothing, also hold parties and march in parades. The first St. Patrick's Day celebration was in what is now the United States, was held in Boston, Massachusetts in 1737. Today, more than 100 U.S. cities hold parades. New York holds the largest parade. That was Elikai with the holiday of the month. I'll see you next month.